Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Tuesday evening. I hope you've enjoyed yourself and you looked after yourself today. We've obviously released a couple of videos out on the channel today already. We did a loan roundup, which we do every Tuesday. Go have a little look of it. You know, it's quite interesting to see, what players are playing well, players were playing, full stop, seeing what happens with other players that maybe aren't getting the minutes right now and kind of giving my views on a few of the different guys, as well as an update on Samuel Iling-Junior from this morning, talking about how Spurs, quote, lead the race to sign him, as well as more that goes on into that video. It's not just one player. And in this video, we have definitive new updates on Samuel Iling-Junior, and it looks like he's going to be the number one option come January time. We do have a update on Jota and supposedly Ange not getting him, but maybe for not what you expect. And also we have an update on centre-backs as well, just kind of give you a feel about what sort of or who Spurs have got their eye on. So more of an informative one on that side than the other two being a bit more definitive. But we're going to start with Samuel Iling-Junior. Just want to say, if you're new, give us a little subscribe. You're very welcome to join us along for the journey, and I'm happy to have you. Let's jump in. So this comes from Daniele Longo, and I've talked using himself as a guy that's been quite in the know when it comes to Italian football. And I spoke about how he's been kind of at the forefront of this whole Iling-Junior, Spurs, Juventus triangle, and sort of, we're going to jump in because he's given us quite a definitive, article, tweet, report, whatever you want to call it. So, this is, by the way, Google Translate from Italian to English. If it's not perfect English, don't crucify anyone. Don't be a loser or a grammar police, all right? He basically put out that confirmations on our anticipation, Iling-Junior can go to Tottenham as early as January. Contacts in progress. Those last three words, contacts in progress. It looks like, I don't think Paratici's really needed in this deal, just purely because Levy will have that contract with Agnelli and obviously so on and so forth in that realm of owner, chief execs, all that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Look, let me make this one clear, because I think some of you maybe have missed my point on this. He may not be your cup of tea, right? He may be quite far down the list of who you want. You might not think he's an Ange guy. You might not think he's a Lang guy. Johan Lang, by the way. That's why I've said Lang and Ange. You can kind of understand I'm talking about two different people. You may think this is propaganda. This is all these things, okay? And that's fine. You're more than welcome to think that. And I would hope, and I would really hope if we were to get Samuel Iling-Junior, that you would back him. I've been seeing more and more videos on him today, and I was thinking, actually, he looks like he's got some talent. He looks like he's got some potential. And the more I see of him, the more it confirms to me, yes, there is potential there. There's more that we can get out of it. Now, if you're sitting here going, Spurs should be buying these guys that cost 50, 60 million, you're living in cuckoo land. The reason is we've got so many holes to fill. Spurs aren't spending 50, 60 million on every single player. If we did, we'd be the highest spending team in a very long time. So it's not going to happen. So we need to live a little bit more in the real world, bring ourselves down a little bit. Let's be optimists. Let's be, dreamers, but let's not be outlandish. And my point is on this, it's about what fits. And I think people think he doesn't fit. And look, he's not had a chance. You're burying him before he's even come here. Let's see what he's got. Because you know what? For 12 to 15 million pounds, nowadays it's not a lot of money. We also need the body there anyway, because we're losing all these people to AFCON and Son as well. And we're losing players to injury left, right and centre. Richarlison could only play 5 minutes against City because he's only just come back from surgery. Solomon's still out. All it takes is to lose one more, and we're looking at me being on the bench and you being on the bench. And neither one of us are good enough to be on the bench. So look, he wasn't my first option. But I tell you what, I guarantee Vicario wasn't your first option. I guarantee Mickey Van der Ven wasn't your first option. Because I tell you what, my first option on that front was Tapsoba and David Raya. Emi Martinez actually probably was my first choice, in all honesty. But you can see what happens. Even though it's not your first choice, doesn't mean they can't be great. Even though you weren't completely sold on them, doesn't mean it can't be great. So many people are saying Van der Ven's not good enough because he's in a team that leaks all his goals. And now look at you and how you feel about Mickey Van der Ven. Look at Vicario. He had one bad game at Brentford, and the amount of Spurs fans that tried to bury him for that, now look at him. He's one of the best keepers in the league. You don't have to be the biggest fan of him, but support him and give him a runway of games that you can kind of say, if he has a game here and there that maybe isn't the best, let's stick with it. Let's be patient. It's why certain teams have done very well. Certain teams, certain big teams, namely Arsenal, who were patient, and now look at them. And that's what we've got to remember. So yeah, it looks like Samuel Iling-Junior is top of that list. Now let's talk Jota, because I'm going to make it out really clear with this, because I want to tie the two together and then talk about centre-backs. And it came from Team Talk, who said that Postecoglou will reportedly be denied the chance to reunite with Celtic ex-Celtic ace Jota in North London. Now, before you go Twitter fingers and clickbait me and everything like that, the Portuguese has performed a U-turn on leaving Al Ittihad in January, thus moving an ex-Chelsea forward up Tottenham's wish list. That would be Samuel Iling-Junior, just to spoil that one. It's not someone else, not like Willian or something, or Eden Hazard. We've got him out of retirement. Eden, need you for 5 minutes. Come on. Look, Jota was never one of my top options. He wasn't. I'd probably say Jota might have been 4th or 5th, okay? We put a lot of hype into Jota, and for me, I'm not overly blown away by him. I think he's good, but I would rather have a Nusa. I'd rather have a Nico Williams. Actually, there's quite a few players I'd rather. I'd like Mbeumo from Brentford over him. I'd like a lot of players over him. But what I would say on this is, it's not Spurs. Now, this could be twists and turns. It could be agents. It could be a lot of things trying to put some pressure on maybe a deal to go ahead that maybe no one expected to go ahead. But what I would say is, if we take this just on face value, which I know in football is not always the smartest thing to do, let's just take it on face value for this one time. Could it have been, there might have been an injury in Al Ittihad? And to be honest, they've said in Saudi leagues they're happy to loan players from club to club. So I think, to be fair, I think he could have probably gone to another, he might even go to another Saudi club to play, because I know the Saudi chiefs aren't happy with the fact that that transfer has failed so far. No, time will tell. And you have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he will succeed. Just like you give any player the benefit of the doubt that could succeed. But what I would say is he's probably looked at it and gone, I'm earning really good money here. I'm playing in a really naff league, and I'm going to try and be nice with that. It is a naff league. I'd say League One probably is a better quality of league, to be honest. And he's probably going, I don't really have to work that hard. It's a nice retirement home. I'm having a good time. 150 grand a week is quite nice. I'm not going to get that elsewhere. Yeah, I think I'll stay. I think I'll stay. See what's good. And I think it's smart for him. Go get your money, mate. If you're earning 400 grand a week, 4.8 million a year, and I think the base tax rate's like 20%. Oh no, you're losing 30 grand a week out of 150. You're making bloody good money. So enjoy yourself. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I don't think Jota was anyone's first choice. I think there was a lot. We've been linked to players that are much better than Jota. You could say the same about Samuel Jr. You could say the same about Antonio Nusa, potentially. I think Nico Williams, we could all agree, is probably the best one we've been linked to. But do you know what? If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Remember that. Let's talk centre-half. So from Nizar Kinsella in The Standard, he said that left-sided centre-backs like Jean-Claire Todibo, Mark Guehi and Lloyd Kelly are also top of the agenda at Hotspur Way. Look, we know about Lloyd Kelly. We know the interest there. We know that we could potentially get him on a free next summer. Okay, we know that. We know Mark Guehi, the England international, plays regular football at Crystal Palace, and he's a good player. I think people kind of go, he's average, he's rubbish. He's not average or rubbish. He's a good player. Doesn't mean he's world class or great, but he's a good player. Let's just be fair there. Don't get yourself an agenda on this. Todibo is the best of the three, in my personal opinion. Okay, to be a French international centre half and to play for them and to be in the squad. To be in the squad, actually, let's just forget about playing for them. Being in the squad as a centre half for France is a feat in itself, because unlike England, they've got great centre halves. We've got John Stones. You could probably see maybe a Tomori come through there to be great. Good. We've got Guehi. We've got, trying to think of anyone else now. I think Lewis Dunk you could probably maybe put in there. I don't rate Harry Maguire. I don't want to talk about him. I don't rate him at all. Not a good player for me. But on Todibo, I think he is the better of the three. But he also has the most suitors of the three, and that's the issue. Do Spurs want to fight the top European giants again, because they're not going to want to pay the wages, they're not going to want to pay the highest fee for him? You'd have to prey on Ange selling it to him, and Ange has sold it beautifully to so many players that maybe we didn't expect to get. I expected still Maddison to kind of go to Newcastle at first, and then I kind of came around to realising that he wanted to be closer to London, but also Ange had to sell him on it. You know, Newcastle in the Champions League, Maddison going to Spurs, who's not even in Europe. You had to be able to sell that vision to him. So I think the most likely of the three is Lloyd Kelly, but it doesn't fix January. I think that fixes the summer after, because I think you do go and get him on a free. So you need to still get another centre-half. And I am interested to know where they go, because I think, look, Nice, excuse me, I've just eaten dinner, apologies. Nice are top of the league in France. Obviously, Palace is a bit different. You maybe could move in January, but then you're also really wary of, I want to be in the England squad for the summer. And am I going to be in the squad if I go to Spurs? You know, Mickey van der Ven's still probably not back till February. Romero misses games. We should rotate a little bit more maybe with the FA Cup coming into this schedule. I mean, Spurs are playing Sunday, 4:30. They're playing Thursday. And they're playing Sunday again. So in a week, they're playing 3 times. Now, it's ironic that Romero's only playing 2 of those games. He's probably fit enough to play it. Ben Davies, by the end of it, is probably going, I need a week off. I need just to kick my feet up and ice myself. But I think you'll find that we'll probably need to go get another centre-half. And I'm looking away, aren't I? I'm like dreaming about the January transfer window. I can't wait for it, to be fair. But I'm just thinking, if we're going to get Lloyd Kelly, I think it's the summer. So that means we have to go elsewhere in January. Now, is that Sebastian Cáceres? Is it Mark Guay? Is it Todibo? I don't know. But I expect to see some more names coming. But it's interesting, they've got 3 good centre-halves at the top of the agenda. And it's good to have them. It's good to be there. Anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section, like your thoughts and feelings. Look, Samuel Iling-Junior looks like he's gone as number 1. Are you happy about that? Are you sad about that? I know some of you are sad about it. But, you know, let's see what everyone else thinks. Obviously, look, you've got the situation of, I was just talking about that centre-half list, what your thoughts and feelings is about that. Jota supposedly turning down Spurs to stay in the Saudi League. Thoughts and feelings about that as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.